Well, hello, my darlings. I'm Faith from Faith and Grits, back to share an idea for Rachabella's design team. We're looking at flips and flaps. So I've got one to show you today in my Grungy Bunny using Rach's Spring in Your Step kit. Let's find it now. There it is. So one of my ideas for this one in my accordion journal, this is so simple and so basic. I hope you stick around. It's like a hidden writing spot kind of thing, but I think there's lots of twists and turns that you could put on this for sure. So I've got a little closure built into the page using a brad. That's hidden on the other side. There's a card that lives underneath. That opens. I've got tags there. This opens with writing space and closes again, but then that opens again with writing space. So really, really simple, fun idea, but definitely one I want to bank for the future for playing with. And my Grungy Bunnies are really coming along now. As long as I can remember which way to close it back up again before I start on the other side. So I do hope you stick around and enjoy. So for you, it'll only be a tick. Right, my darlings, let's make a start now on the first flippy-flappy. So I've gotten my Grungy Bunnies out. I've printed off a piece of the kit. I've got a double-sided piece there. And I've just trimmed it down coming out of the printer. I've got 2 copies of that writing paper, that one and that one. So I already cut these down. They're not exactly cut to size, and you'll see why in a minute. So here's my template. So it's going to go into the book this way. It's going to go into the book like this. It's going to open that way. Yes, it'll open that way. There'll be a tuck inside, but it also opens that way. So, and it's dead simple. So I've gotten my hole punches out. I've got a bit of scrap onto a piece of card to do a closure, some string. So the first thing to do is, as it's trimmed out of the printer, do I need it to trim any more to fit the height of my book? And yes, I'm going to take a sliver off there. That's just bang on at 8 inches, but I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. So it's really, really simple. There is a lot of inking in this. It's a really good way of using up scraps, I think. I'm just going to take that much. Just a sliver I've taken off. So you want to fold it in half. So the right way up. Am I the right way up? Yes. Fold it in half. Yes. That way. And then fold it in half again. Keeping it nice and taut. I always do this. I fold it away from me, and then I want to put my head over. So that now is upside down. So flip it back over that way. So there's your front. I'm going to have an image there, writing paper here, and writing paper on the inside. So let's have a go. What do we want to do first? Right, I'll do the topper last. Do I want to round corners? Yes. I do want to round corners. Not much. I'm going to go in at the 7 mark. Like I said, I'll do as much as I can before everything needs inking. And then I will pause to do a lot of the inking. But just talk you through now how to get your pieces ready. So I've got all those corners done. And I am that way. So this image here, I want to go in there. But I want it to be centered, if that makes sense. So I need to, with a pencil, I'm going to give myself a couple of little trim marks there and a center mark. If that makes sense. Paper chopper. Where's my chopper? There we go. So first down the center. And then I can clean those up so that they meet. So a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. Do those together. Top and off the bottom. So now they should fit inside. So I need a little bit off both sides. So again, using my pencil, line that up to the edge there because I will round the corners. Give myself a little pencil mark on that one. Line that up there. And a little pencil mark on that side. And again, you're not measuring, you're just using those little pencil marks as a guide. I mean, you can sit down and methodically measure it out, but oh, come on. That's all right. So, sorry, that's a noisy chopper, isn't it? So those two will go down there. Give those corners a snip as well. So now I've had a few paper template versions of this floating around on my shelf over there where my idea book lives, but I'm not really done them. So I've got this one, and I do have another one that I want to put into the Grungy Bunny. But I thought we'll do one video for one and one for the other. Keep it simple. So this is like a hidden writing space sort of thing. So those two are going to go down there, but everything needs to be inked. So I'm going to do the exact same process on those two center panels with a bit of writing paper. And then I'm going to do it again on that panel with another piece of writing paper. And once I've got those trimmed, cornered, and inked, I'll pop back on and show you how I've assembled them and gotten them into the book. So bear with me a tick. Right, my darlings, after a lot of inking later, not a lot, but it is a bit, you know. So I've had all those panels cut down. Everything is inked. I did cut out an extra envelope and sort of married it up to that. I've got an idea for that. I'll come back to that. But my main base page now had everything inked. So I've had all the fold lines inked going all the way around. So the first two, let's just start gluing stuff in now. And get the trusty Oohoo out. No, I've got to get my head back in the game for filming. It's just, I don't know. I had such a period off. I'm very excited to be part of the team over at Rach and Bella's now. And looking forward to what that brings this year, for sure. So I've got my first image that I've sliced in half. That's going to go there. Bone folder. Just a gentle push. And then my other one is going to go on the other side. This is such a simple flippy-flap sort of hidden writing space idea. I've actually halfway considered doing another Big Ugly Idea book, but going back and trying to put you know, dig back into the archives, look for some of the really simple ones that we tend to forget about. We're all looking at looking for new ideas and ways to make the pages interesting. But this could be done on any scale, and it could be left or right-handed. And yeah, it's same with the other one that I've got for the second video. Simple ideas that we can borrow from others and adapt. This would be really good scrap buster as well, especially at the end of a kit. So if you've got little tags and little snippets from pockets and all sorts, you can mock one of these up. And it doesn't have to be the full height of your book either. You could do it in any sort of configuration once you get the hang of it. I've done it with the writing paper because I want it to be more of like a hidden journaling spot. So yeah, I know I skipped all the inking and now you're just watching me glue stuff, but no, you can see it sort of coming together then, and how inking all those edges really does make a difference. So I've inked the pieces of panels I've cut out, but I've also inked the back page as well. So that'll go in the book attached like that. That's the cover. There's your spot. You could add small pockets in here if you wanted to, but then that lifts out and the other two writing spots go underneath. So I really like this writing page, Rach. I wish you had a few different ones in there that had the journal lines on it. Sorry, my voice is going now. So no, I hope everyone's had a lovely Easter. It's all, the weather is, honestly, in Wales, sometimes it's like all 4 seasons you get in one day. It's like you've got to be prepared for everything in one day. But it is improving. It is warming up. The daffs are out everywhere. And when I mean daffodils in Wales, I mean daffodils. They are everywhere. Crocuses have come and gone. Things are starting to perk up in the garden again. I've got potatoes coming back. Once you put potatoes in, that's it. You got potatoes forever, because they just keep coming back and back and back. So let's put this out of the way. So that's the basics there. That can be glued into the journal. Now I want to put that piece I've done, that'll go as a card underneath. I want to get a topper done, but before I do the topper, I cut an extra bit of that envelope. And I'm thinking I want that lined up. I didn't too bad of a job lining them up as a tuck. Let's do it. Just do it. Go for it. Let's do this one first. So I'm just going to go down one side and the bottom. There we go. Don't want to glue it to itself though. Oh, that's okay. Oh, stay. There we go. So now I've got a little tuck in there. About that. Now I'm going to do this one on this side. So I want the bottom. Art, why? What is a bubble? It doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes I get art out and it's like really bubbly. It's like, you're happy to see me then, are you? Alright, let's see. Line it up. That edge. Okay, not bad. There we go. So I got 2 little pockets there. So depending on what image you want to slice, you could always add little tucks and things. So that closes up that way. That closes up that way. And I cut that bit out to go as my topper, but I want a bit of lace under there. So I've got some tea-dyed lace here. Sort of how big of a piece do I want? It's a good size, but this is a good size as well. So let's go there. Drop it off. Give it a little bit of a shake. Set the right side up. Yeah. Glue this on first, and then I'll give it a shake. Go with art. Yeah, let's go with art. So, yeah, I haven't caught up with all of the design team videos. I've seen a few. I'm hoping to catch up in the next week with everybody's, but what I have seen has been really, really good. I've got to get myself a bit more active in the Facebook, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it. There we go. I need a new pen for my art. Now I want to trim these bits down a bit so they're less square. And there we go. And then that can go on to the front. But before that goes on to the front, I want to add string. So let's just do whatever. I want to tie a very loose, like flappy bit there that can be glued. Come on, fingers. There we go. I think. Yeah, that's fine. One more. Yeah. I just want a loopy bit there that I can get glue onto. So that's going to get glued. Make sure I'm the right side up. I'm going to glue that there. Trim a little bit out. Glue that in there. And then this is going to get glued on top. Don't know if I want to use art for that. I might use, let's try Aleene's. I picked this up when I was in America last. Or do I want to try Beacon? No. Me and Beacon don't get on anymore. Yeah, let's try this. Get it squeeze out. Come on. There we go. And I am going to have to pause again and let this Aleene's dry. But then I want to go and see if I can find something really small to go on the end of that string. I don't want anything too bulky. Come on. A little bit of squish out. That's fine. Right, we'll leave this dry a minute. I want to see if I've got any tiny charm or bead or something to go on the end of that. That goes underneath. And my brads. I need to get my brads out. I've got 2 different hole punches here. Say, there we go. And then a smaller one. There we go. So those 2 will go on top of each other. They need inking, and I need to find a brad to go in the center of that. So, let this dry, and I'll be back with you in a tick. Right, my darlings, that's all done. I managed to find a bead to go on the end of that. Got my circles out, and found the teeniest, tiniest little butterfly brad. That's not going to focus, is it? It's too small. There we go. Teeny tiny one. That's going inside, and while I was waiting on that to dry as well, I cut out a couple of scrap pieces that I had to go as the tags, sort of tippery tags in there. I think that needs something on the top. Where's my squirrel jar? Hold on. There's one. Sorry, that squeaky chair. What have I got in here? Something small. That'll do. One. That one. Where's the tiny attacher? There we go. I can get it to stay put. There we go. So there's something there. And something, I can always stick something on top of the staples. I just want something on there. Interesting. That's coming unraveled. That's too big. That'll do. That's even got something on it. Now these are all like little offcut bits that come from when I'm sewing things and I've got bits hanging off the ends. I like that one. That's coming all right. And I just save interesting bits. Sorry, my voice is going again. I save interesting bits in these little jars. And I like to put them on top of tabs. So from our big one, we've got our cover. That's going to open and right in space, and then that's going to flip out, which works well in an accordion. So I know where I'm going to put it. So let's get that clip off. I need to keep that out of the way because this is going to go down on the page like so, but only on 3 sides. So let's go for it. I'm going to turn my book around a bit so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm creating a tuck behind this writing panel. Come on, Art. I don't know what is up with this lately. I've taken the nozzle off. I've given it a wash, and it's just not been happy lately at all. There we go. Now you're going to come out. There we go. So I'm going to line this up and try to get it in as neat as I can from my angle anyway. There we go. So let Art do its thing. Come on. And while I'm waiting to make sure that Art does its thing, I'm going to figure out where this closure is going to go. So that can go out of the way. Yeah. Come on, Art. this book is getting chunky now, which doesn't make it. It'd probably be easier if I took everything out, really, when it starts to get that chunky. So I want my 2 little bits here lined up, and I want to poke a hole through the center. My sacrificial book. Poke a hole through the center of those. Come out. There we go. And my little brad will go through there. Pop that out of the way. So I'm going to have to open this accordion out. Get rid of that clip. Because my closure needs to go here. And for my closure to go there, it's got to go through the other side. So I need to figure out what's on the other side. And it's, oh, that works. What did I use the other day? I think I used a squished up bit of paper. And I want to poke a hole where I want my closure to be. So that's going to be there. So give that a little poke for a little hole, and then flip it back over. There we go. I just about missed it, didn't I? Happy days. And I can cover that up then. Give that a hole through, and my circles need their brad through. And before, pop that through. How did I do this before? I can't remember. Yeah, I do want to bend those back just for a second. But I want that bottom circle to be glued to the book page, because my closure is going to go on the small circle. Well, art is bubbling away over here. I'm going to get a little bit of art under there. I don't know if I'm doing this right or not. I don't know if there is a right or a wrong way to attach brads. I've got enough interesting brads here in my craft room to work with, but it's not something that I've used a lot of. So any suggestions are welcome. There. So my butterfly's there. That loose one should be on top. Let's flip this over. So my back is there, and I want a piece of washi tape to cover up that brad. I can always go back. How can I embellish this now? Or just do it. It's grungy, and I want a little bit of art on there, and glue stick on my washi. Again, accordion books are new to me. This is all completely, there, happy days. I know it's secure now. Whatever is going into that pocket with her is probably going to obscure that anyway. Pin in the glue and cap on the oohoo. Pin in the glue, cap on the oohoo, and this goes back in there. Let's go back over, and I should have, yes, that's moving free and clear. So this needs to, no, that goes into the tuck behind. And that then needs to come round. It will go round. 1, 2, 3. And then trim this bit off so it dangles down. So I want a knot on the bottom. Come on, fingers. At least enough for the bead not to fall off. That bead is a little bit big, but no, happy days. So there is the flippy-flappy, floppy, hidden writing space, really. So that unwraps, that opens out, and because it's an accordion, you can keep going out. So when you open it up, you've got those 2 pockets. It opens up again for writing space. There's a card underneath, and if you close that up and pull that one, you've got another writing space in there. So no, happy with that one, and I hope it makes sense to everyone. Let's have a look on the other side. I did have another one. Where's it gone? This is all getting very wonky now because I've got stuff clipped everywhere. Where's it gone? Ah, there's the other one. So I've done this one as well as a practice. So I've got a cord wrapped around with a closure. That's disguised on the other side of the accordion. So this opens up, and you've got that lovely image with the butterfly and the bicycle. There's space here. I've put fussy cuts and some just brown card tags in, but that's got writing space behind as well. Again, a card on the back, and if that goes over, you've also got that space in there. So no, I'm intrigued with the idea. I need to play with it more because I think there's lots of different variations that you could do with this for sure. So that is my first one for this week. I've got a second one that's really, really simple that I'm going to be having coming up next. So I hope you've all enjoyed, and happy crafting, everyone, and I hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now.